Shalom, shalom. This is the brother Danyal looking back again with another lesson, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Racha Hakwadash. It's going to be a quick hit early in the morning as I'm walking to my destination. But, title of the video is You Must Go Through the Narrow to Enter into the Broad, right? We must go into the narrow to enter into the broad. Now, what does that mean? Right? The narrow represents the difficulties and tribulations and afflictions that we endure in this truth. That's the narrow. Okay, the difficult situation, okay, the rough battle in the spirit, the tribulations we go through, we got to go through those in order to get to the broad. The broad represents the kingdom, which is full of peace and joy and health and riches and everlasting life and perfection, right? So that is what the broad represents. It represents the kingdom of heaven, all right? So now, grab some quick precepts. Second Ezra, chapter 7, verse 3. It says, "And I said, Speak on my power. Then said he unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great." Right? Sea is in a wide place, deep and great, represents the kingdom of heaven. All right? It says, but put to case. Right? Put to case meaning this is the scenario. Okay, he's the angel, a warrior, Allah, is providing a scenario for Ezra. Okay, he's providing him a scenario, which is a true scenario for our current situation. All right, it has always been a scenario for those who have been following Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai throughout the ages. Even now more so than before, right? It says, but put the case, the entrance were narrow like a river. Right, so if you think about a stream or a river, it's a narrow body of water that kind of flows in a abstract, crooked line, or a straight one, but it's narrow, right? It's not a lot of space. Okay, so it's harder to travel through a narrow area. Say you got a narrow road, it's harder to travel through that than to travel through a road that's big. That's why you got what you call broadways, right? Broadways, big streets, easy to travel, multiple lanes. Then you got them narrow side roads where you got to watch your obstacles when you're driving in the chariot, right? For example, the street I live on is pretty narrow. There's much more narrower streets, but it's a two-way, but it's so narrow, it's almost like it should be a one-way. Salakia. So now, with that being said, let's keep reading. It says, who then could go into the sea to look upon it? Who can go into the kingdom, all right, to experience the kingdom and to rule it, right, have rulership in the kingdom, right? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? So if he did not go through the affliction, that's the only way to get there. How are you going to come into the broad? right? So that narrow path, like a river to get into that sea, all right, that is what you would say is the straight gate. It's a gate. It's a gateway. That path is a gateway to get onto the sea, onto the kingdom. Right? So the gateway onto the kingdom is through tribulation and affliction, right? But suffering for Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, not for these other deities, all right, these other idols. So now, it says there's also another thing. A city is builded, the kingdom of heaven, once again, is set upon a broad field and is full of good things. That's the kingdom. It says the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if it were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water, right? So once again, a position of difficulty, so much so that if you go too far to the right, you're gonna fall into the water. Too much to the left, you're gonna burn in the fire. That's the position of difficulty that we're in, right? So you gotta watch your step and move carefully and calculated, right? So this explains our situation. This is why we're catching hell. We're put in difficult situations. We're put in situations where, we have to be focused. You got to always be focused, but situations where, you could end up in some deep shit if you're not using wisdom. And we're going to be put in more situations like that to come. Right? So now, let's go here, Matthew chapter 17 and verse 13. This is what the Lord Yahweh Shai said, because this is the same path that he took. It says, "Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth unto destruction, and many there be which go in thereat." Right? Straight, the way it's spelled, that word means what? Difficulty. Enter into the difficult path. The path of difficulty. Not the path of least resistance, the path of much resistance. Right? What are the things that we are resisting? We're resisting the flesh. We're resisting the ways of this world, right? We're resisting Satan, all right? And the demons are under him that come to attack us in our mind, all right? And do different things to try and deter us from the path, right? It says, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way that leadeth unto life, right? And few there be that find it. So, if you go with the herd, you'll be led to the slaughter. Right? Never go with the herd. You'll be led to the slaughter. Doing what everybody else does. Because what everybody else does in this kingdom is what? Wickedness. And it's going to lead unto what? Their destruction. Yes, it's about that time, man. It's more than chilly out here in the Berg. More than chilly. It says, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life. Okay, I read that. Let's go here. Right? Just to end it off. Quick 3-piece. 1, 2, 3, Jab, right hook, left hook, you know what I mean? Acts chapter 14 and verse 22, it says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. So we have to continue in the faith, right? We got to fight the good fight of faith. You got to fight to keep your faith, right? You got to fight to grow your faith. The Lord will put you in situations to grow your faith. He's going to put you in a difficult situation. He's going to put you in a situation where your faith is going to be tested, right? It says that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High, right? So through much tribulation, much trouble, we're going to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. And that's just the condition of the battle, right? That's the condition of the battle. No one who has, no kingdom that has come into power has ever entered into power without, without any type of strife. All right, without being in a straight situation, right? They had to fight and go into war, man. Right now, we're waging a spiritual war, but soon the war is going to become physical. All right, during the time of Jacob's trouble, they're going to try to persecute the prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the elect of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, let me say. That's the prophets and the men and women, all right, that believe on the words of the prophets and that support the prophets, all right, from the word that they preach, which is the truth, man. The word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. They're going to persecute them too, all right? And that's when the Lord is going to impart that. Going to increase that Holy Spirit, that warlike spirit upon certain individuals, all right, to protect themselves and to protect the elect, and also to bring them heavenly warriors, all right, have divine intervention from the heavenly warriors, all right, to intervene on the behalf of the elect. So, with that being said, Lord, will you edify? And I'm going to say shalom.